Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that they
Again, folks, Samson to Libra Peru. I want to thank all of you again. We're going to quickly turn this whole program over to Jerry Bagan tonight, who's going to be hosting this program tonight. And we ask that all of you please help us out and share this video as possible, as much as possible. Safety, Lord Jesus. We want to thank you again tonight. We want to thank you for this wonderful night as we come before you again tonight. God, guide us, bless us. We ask that you bless the country of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Bless President Wakai, give him long life to do what is good for our people. We ask that you bless the host country, the United States of America, in Jesus' name. Amen. So let me quickly bring Jerry in, who's going to control the entire show here tonight. Jerry, please take it away. Good
Good
evening,
evening,
Jerry.
ladies and
Take it
gentlemen.
away, please.
All right, thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me the responsibility. Folks, let's fasten our seatbelt tonight. We're going to have a discussion that's affecting the Liberian people as well as Liberia and in this country. Yes, these are the issues we're going to be talking about tonight. We'll talk about the Supreme Court, the anticipation of the Supreme Court to give a decision by tomorrow. Hopefully, they can do, and to settle the thing one thing for forever, because it's been haunting us for the past almost going to 3 or 4 months. And it's about time that we settle this thing so that Labram we can be able to function. The functionality of our country is important. If at all it is not functioning, there's a scar on over our head. So let us pray that the Supreme Court will make up what decision they make tomorrow. Let us buy about it, because after the Supreme Court, there's nowhere we can go. I hope we'll find some reconciliation among ourselves. We'll be adults to be able to govern our country. That's the only country we have. We can go to different worlds to solicit funds, bring money into this country, but yet it's our country. We have to do it ourselves. Nobody's going to do it by ourselves. They can give us money, they can train us, but we have to manage ourselves. Now, one of my friends wrote an excellent piece called "Are We Custodian of Our Own Resources?" That's the question that we're important to ask ourselves. Are we, are we in control of our own resources? But oh, okay, that because they're here tonight. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome to you.
thank you, Jerry. Good to be back on the show tonight.
Okay, so all right, so let me just land and let me make my introduction. Then whatever on your plate, we do it. So these are the issues that Liberians have to be self-reliant. We have to take responsibility. Nobody's going to do it for ourselves. We have to do it. And I always say the best way to build our country, the diaspora is going to build our country, because we have the know-how, we have the experience. I am not downplaying those that are in Liberia, but the question there is, we have some exposure to the outside world. We have lived 2 lives. We're born in Liberia, and we came into this country and spent some years and get some education. And there's a way of doing things, of life. Take, for example, a police officer will stop you in a development country. They will not take your lesson. If your lesson is suspended, guess what? You're going to go to jail. They will tow your car. Sir, do you have a ride to go home? If you can get a ride, they will give you a ride. They will take you to your place. They will never take your license. And one of the things I was said, the policeman will want to arrest the owner of the car, but they will sit in that car. Whereby you tell the person, say, you know, when a person is on, you tell a person you want to arrest, do you know they are vulnerable now? They are agitated. Then you go sit with them in the car. So these are things that we need to change in our country. That's all I'll bring in 1 second. But I want to start with this evening. Mrs. Robertson. I can remember as a labor, oh, I mean, that's a labor, not labor per se, young man, 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
19, 20 years old. 19, 20 years, yeah, Mr. Robertson, 19, 20 years old. Just got out of high school, looking for a job in Liberia. And I was able to take the police aptitude test, pass the police aptitude test, and landed on the police academy. At that time, they called it National Public Safety. Actually, it was Police Academy first. Then they brought it to Liberia. Tower King, he changed it to the National Public Safety Institute. Why he changed it to the National Public Safety Institute? Because there were multiple training. We got a Liberia National Police, Fire Department, Immigration, NSA, Special Security, at that time was Special Security Service, all the paramilitary law enforcement go there. So Tower thought it was that he changed it to Liberia, not Liberia, National Public Safety Institute. So that means multiple institutions go there. But when we land on the campus, think about it, 19, 20-year-old, they changing him from boys to men. And that lady, she was there for us. She was a chief dietitian. She fed us. In fact, we changed her name, give me 10. What happened? The rule was on our campus. You're supposed to be 2. You cannot walk by yourself. If she sees you walking by yourself, she will take a drive, give me 10 pusher. So we changed her name, give me 10. So she passed away, and tomorrow, unfortunately, she passed away, and tomorrow we're going to go to her funeral. So I just want to thank everybody who graduated from the police academy, 1979, the class of 1979 will be there tomorrow. They will see her home going. I just want to do that. That is yours.
And then also, just to Jerry, thank you for the show tonight. Thank you for helping you to take on the show. That show some good side of you. When it comes to the police, let me just say that my father was a trained police officer, and he served up to the rank of 4 corner up to the 1990 war. Yeah, he served as regional police commander for Bong, Lofa, and Nima County. This is called the Moses S. Tutu. And
Yeah.
he passed away since 2009, just to recognize his contribution to the police force in Liberia. And he was a very disciplined police officer. People that knew my father in Bong County, in Banga, they talk how, in fact, discipline started from your house. We felt the impact of the discipline that he had. That we put it also. But Jerry, as you said tonight, you brought up law enforcement. So they caught my attention today in Liberia about EPS, which used to be the SSS, I think in the 80s. And then I think it got to that time or early time, one of them, But this was one of the unique security apparatus I used to enjoy in Liberia, especially when how they used to dress, that navy blue uniform they used to wear. And I don't know they are not wearing uniform today.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are wearing uniform today. But in the 80s, those that we saw, they were well disciplined, well dressed. And today, hearing, I went on the Executive Marshal website today, and I saw that how some of the EPS officers have been suspended for allegation of corruption, banking, they are lost the ethical value of the service. And they also too, and I saw a group of the EPS people that protest into the U.S. Embassy also too, that they were wrongfully dismissed by the same EPS boss. So that it come to my attention now that this unique security apparatus of how to protect the president and diplomat in Liberia, now they are being engulfed in unethical situation when it comes to protecting the life of the president or the first family or the diplomat. It is a great concern, and at the same time, somebody also to complain that they have been wrongfully dismissed. They were just employed by the weird government, and they said that somebody didn't get a proper training. So this is a situation. So our security, that's a unique security sorting. And then we had the issue of Gregory Coleman coming some time ago also too, and said that police were involved in armed robbery. And in one of the press conferences, he said that I'm very ashamed, and I don't know whether the officers were dismissed or suspended, but investigation was pending. We don't know how far that investigation go. So for me, I think our security system in Liberia, it get to be to a point that it need to be addressed and get a view about Liberians on it. Because those are those are the security networks who protect the country. If people are not safe well, people are not paying well, or people are doing things on the ordinary, I think it's not good for the country. It's so that we have to discuss and get public opinion on it and let how people get their input on it. Or what do you think?
Well, that's the thing. Thank you for asking the question. I think both are co-hosting it tonight. That's a good topic we want to discuss, and probably we'll go into detail. Let me give a little background of myself. Since you asked that question, I graduated from the police academy in 1979. We were on the police academy. They used to call us when we were on the academy. They called the OAU police, if you can recall. And so OAU were coming at that time. We were recruited. Like Brentford, we quick on linking something, and so we were recruited at that time. We graduated from the police academy before the OAU came to Liberia. After my training, 1980, the coup took over, and if you can recall, I think probably you'd be in Liberia at that time if you are not left. But so the Lebanese people at that time down Waterside, because most of the stores were down Waterside, on Benson Street, Cable Street, and things. They started burning the area their stores. So we were 6 that were picked to come to Texas Institute of Highway Institute of Study to come study answer investigation. We spent 6 months here and we went back to Liberia. So what the answer list that was in Liberia was 6 that they sent abroad to study, answer investigation. Those are fire investigation. So, and I ran to the rank of captain before I left and came to the state. My last assignment I came was to work at a Nine Nation. No, before then, I worked at a 1984, 85, worked for the Election Commission as the chief of security, chief general security. Then I came to the state and I was able to go to school and get my graduate programs and all these things. But the interesting thing here is I've been reading a lot of articles. You can Google Jerry Bacon, or Jerry Bacon, that Africa, you will find all my information. So it's important. But here's the thing. You brought up a good point. When we came from the police academy, then they sent me to SS, then they took me from SS again, they brought me to the police, then they took me and put me to the intelligence department. So, they could switch you around. But here's the interesting thing. At a time, we have role model. One of the things we lack of today in our country is where is a role model? Because there are people that you look up to. People, when you were labor, there's somebody you saw and say, you know what? Damn, I think I want to be like that person because they had the integrity, they had a character, they had a charisma in the community, so you wanted to do it. I was only law enforcement because when I came from the interior as a maybe 12 or 13-year-old kid, and I saw the guy, back when they used to wear the tax force, used to wear the red neckerchief with the blue hat and everything and stuff like that. So when I saw the guy with the tax force, at the time they used to call it tax force, I saw this guy, I was like, wow. So I went to him, and he was Peter Dabo, I mean. So I asked him, I said, Peter, how can I become police officer? He said, oh, when you graduate from high school, you got to go take the aptitude test and blah, blah. I said, Peter, I will join the police force. That's why encouraged me to join the law enforcement. And let me go a little farther. My first time, Patrick Minicon, we started here with Patrick Minicon and Patrick Minicon of Wilfred Clark and all these people. Some of the names will come back in my head. But anyway, my first time shaking Patrick Minicon hand, I was shaking. I just graduated from the police academy. They had, I told the police after I left the uniform department, and they sent me to the intelligence department. So at that time they called it Minister in National Security, National Security. Yeah. So he was the minister. So we had a joint security meeting, and my first time shaking his hand, I was shaking Because man, you're here, and you must have sitting on the same table to have a discussion. So we have people with more people who have the moral and the character. Today, let me say this. One guy was in the police for they call Ase Kanga. Maybe you might heard about him. He was one of the strong guys. He never slept. Whether you were in the SS, immigration, police, Ase Kanga will see you. If you're not on assignment, guess what? He will disrupt you on our street. He
Oh
will
yeah,
call your command. He will call your commander on the radio. I see John Doe. Where is he? Where he assignment? So
yeah,
these are the people who had the security. Today, where are the people?
yeah. And then also the general, and then also the general,
Right.
uh, I can recall, 1989, right? We're leaving from Totota going to Morovia, and then to the side of that gate, there were some officers, I think immigration police officers were to the gate, but they were not assigned to be to the gate. And then we saw this guy, white white car with that wages, everything. They say, well, but this police guy or Joe Wally Soli.
Yeah, Lucille, yeah. Lucille was one
Yeah.
class ahead of me. Lucille was one
So
class ahead of me too. He was
and
the
then he was a
deputy, he
high,
was administrative assistant to
yeah,
welfare clerk. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then he
Joe
was a
Sulu.
high,
I know
he
you
was
very
a
well.
high,
Yeah, I know you very well.
he was
Yeah.
a high
You from
ranking
the you from
officer.
the eighth class. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was a high ranking officer. So as soon as
Mm-hmm.
Joe was, as soon as they saw the car, he passed the car, see the officer running. And, some of them going to the bush running. So they said, what happened? They say, Joe Wally Soli, yeah. He doesn't joke. So I mean, those of the day, discipline. When you come to your superior, you respect your superior. If you're not supposed to be the assigned area, you there. Also, even my late father, uh, you were one of those guys in that whole region, in that Nimba County region, Lofa and Bonka, the Konototo, when the year boy here, he would discipline officers, he would disrobe somebody. They had a high regard for him, But the ethical aspect, both of you, those of you guys that went through the police academy, those you guys went through a lot of ethics, there. But we don't know how far these day officers going through training. When you go Liberia right now, is it because out of the hardship that the country faced with a lot of money, but people are not really serve it because they want to serve the law for it. They go in there because to get something out of it. And which is very bad for the country.
Well, here's the thing. I will not play the psychology into it. Where you found poverty, you expect the abuse of power.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
But poverty being like bro, Africa, what's it?
Yeah. Yeah. But you see, yeah, okay, fine. You see, that's a good debate we can do. But the thing is, after after the war, 2020, 2022, 2020, when we begin to go back to civilian rules, let me say this. Look at the way our police dress today.
Yep.
No
That's another thing
badges.
I want to talk about.
No badges. I saw them today. There was a funeral, and they were dressed I look at it and I said, what is going on?
It's a
No
structure.
badge. The uniform they wear is all fade out.
Yeah.
It's all fade out. They have no badges. They got no badges. What's going on?
Yeah.
What is really going on? How would the people respect our people? When I was there, when you wear that navy blue and sky,
Navy
especially
blue.
the SS, you get a Sam Brown bear. You got
I know everything.
Yeah.
Those are the guys who enjoy. Especially the SS with the dress. Oh, I enjoy that dress code. Yeah.
So you wear that blue navy and that blue pants, and when you pull that thing, every enlisted officer will get a goal. In fact, your check cannot be it gotta be a goal or button. And you gotta get a bracelet to shine this thing. Where are the discipline? Who are the people who in charge? But anyway, And the scary part is, let's be honest here. The officer themselves put themselves in a bad position. There's a reason why. And it need to stop. You asking the officer, you asking the detainees to get in a car. You know what you have done? You're risking your own life.
Definitely
No,
so.
you must say in a country, the police officer would never get in your car
No, not at all.
because it's your word against your word. The person can say, I got $200,000 in my bank in a car, and the officer stole the money. What will you say? Hmm?
Yeah.
But this is what it makes. It's your word against the person's word.
Yeah.
So we have to change that perspective. How do we solve the problem, especially when it comes to our security? It is
Definitely security on the
important
air.
that we. Hmm?
Your Vadi Sherman agreement some time ago during the Unity Party government. I think Vadi Sherman was indicted by the court, and they said they needed his living body to the court, and they sent the security officers or maybe the sheriff to go and get him. Now the sheriff went. The sheriff don't even have a car to get for the sheriff from your house to take him. But he tell the man say he want to leave his body. So for the sheriff say
Yeah.
the sheriff don't even get a car to come and get me. But however I will offer my car for him to take me. Can he buy it?
Yeah. You're compromised. You're compromised. Your life is in danger.
Yeah,
But
Yeah. So that's
so
it.
these are the things.
Yeah,
These are the things we're
but
talking about.
that look at the Supreme Court. The ruling tomorrow.
Thank you.
Which is very
Yes. What's your
very
take? Mm-hmm.
yeah. For me, I just we have a lot of misinformation that we're hearing, from sources. The Supreme Court is divided. I think I went on Front Page Africa, and then I read there, how some of the opinion from the justices, they are divided on the issue. But some of them have the love or support for the executive branch, and they see that but however, the ruling going to come out tomorrow. And like I said, sometimes I'm going to show you, the Supreme Court should not try to complicate the issue here. If they had a rule, that be pure plain English. But everybody wants they shouldn't come up with the big opinion, logo terminology that people be scratching their hair again. People have to go back, both start claiming victory. We won. Just call it space or space and make it straight to the point. And say Mr. Kofa will now offer due process. Speaker Kofa should offer due process or go back and do it good. Or Speaker Kofa, you offer due process, you couldn't remove it, it's legal, let it be plain to the point. I mean, that's why I want for to happen tomorrow. Based upon the information we got in, that they are divided and they will come up with ruling, whatever they may come up with. But for me, I just want for plain, simple English that not try to complicate the matter again, because the country, December also be ending. We enter January, the president's supposed to give a State of the Union address, the State of the Nation rather, the State of the Nation address. And we're going to be the speaker. We're going to call, that'll be a joint session. We're going to call the session in the order where all the complications are going on. So I think the Supreme Court need to put their foot down and come up with a good ruling tomorrow that will just resolve the issue for all. So people scratching their head, people going back, just complicate the issue. I mean, that's what I think.
Well, thank you. But here's the point. We got to understand this. The Supreme Court, myself, I've been following it. People say, but you see, even in the great United States, even the great United States, they got to see our country is different in a sense. Here we have two. We got a conservative view and we got a liberal view.
Yeah.
If we go to the Supreme Court in the United States, the Supreme Court, most of the conservatives are appointed by the Republican Party, and the liberal views are appointed by the president or the Democratic Party or president. So mostly they will try to switch the view to the liberal view. The conservative, the Republican Party will
Yeah.
also view. But where we have in Liberia, and I see there was people say, oh, one of the justices is appointed by Buckeye, or so definitely she will rule on Buckeye, or George Weah, George Weah appointed or what, 2 or 3 of the judges and stuff like that. So, but we have to do a good diligence for our people. Like you said, when you pull that rope on, you are now know that the animal, you are a Supreme Court judge. And you have to call, like you said, you got to call a spade, that space a head. And I mean, there'll be some partiality, but the country interest come first. Like I said last night, the country come first. And based upon the country, we got to be national of our country, because anything that happened to our wherever the Supreme Court rule tomorrow, it will also affect the country, regardless where it go tomorrow. Maybe how you call it, the majority black or the speaker of people. But let's respect the rule of law. Once the Supreme Court is spoken, let's respect it. You might not like it.
Yeah,
You
sure.
understand? After the Supreme Court, where else can we go? Or maybe the Supreme Court will rule partially, or they send it back to the court or to the lower court and say, listen, we want complete discipline and quorum. Let Mr. Kofani be have a fair trial, by his peer. That's what our constitution provides. You are innocent until proven guilty. Do I like it? No. Do I like what's going on? But that's why our criminal justice system and our constitution provide in our country. But we have to understand where the Supreme Court is right now, and we need stability in our country. We are just 24 years ago, we're in a civil war, and we don't want to go that route again. It's time for discipline ourselves. It is time to say enough is enough. Let these people, when the Supreme Court, whatever she say tomorrow, let's buy about it. I mean, that is my point of view. We might not like it. It doesn't mean that if you go to court, somebody got to win, regardless. You play soccer game, even if you're 5-5, you got to keep 5-5 penalty. Somebody, the World
yeah.
Cup, people go to
Yeah,
the World
definitely
Cup,
so.
people go to the World Cup, somebody got to win. So
It's-
it doesn't matter. That means you win. If you lost, that would give you ample time for you to pull your out together and say, you know what, I went there the last time I lost. In fact, if you lost, I mean, you are doing good, because that would make you to do good diligence to yourself and say, you know what, I'm not going to go to court again and get lost, and I'm going to do the right thing this time. So take it away.
Yeah, definitely so, because that's why I work for the Supreme Court, because Liberians are going through a lot. That country are going through a lot, and we want for a good ruling that will have positive image on the country. No matter what happens tomorrow, the Supreme Court is a final arbitration or law in Liberia, what people can see. And there's a lot bust up. They come over ruling tomorrow, whether if you are the majority black or the minority black, but the idea of ruling have come, people should respect the verdict of the court. And people should not try to twist the verdict of the court again, because our people are very good at it. Because just the last time when the first incident that happened, when they went to the court, when the Kofa black went to the court, the judge in Chima declined. He did not go further. But there was a legal expert on both sides claiming victory. That they had won. And then it went back again to square one again. It even helped to reinforce the problem. So now tomorrow, I don't want to wake up in the morning tomorrow. I can't hear they say the Supreme Court have passed a rule again that creates a little bit of dark in the ruling where both sides claim the victory, like you said. One side have to just win. Either you lose or you win. So they cannot come in and say again, you know what, okay, the post are claiming victory. We won. You know, I don't think it will be good in the interest of the country. Let it be fair tomorrow. They will have side, like you said. Even the Green United States when they had that Raven rule, so that going on. We saw the Supreme Court. Everybody supported the decision of the Supreme Court. They had some side, but they came up after the decision of the court. They came out. They said yes. I did not support it, but the majority voted on it, and the decision came away. Today the Raven rule got wiped out. That's how the law prevail in the land. But now, if you coming out with the suspicious verdict that will create doubt in the mind of the people, that the people argue both sides, I win, you lose it. At the end of the day, you just have to make the problem worse. We don't want for the Supreme Court to go that direction. They are competent justices, and we hope, we depend on them. They are the large boss up in the country. We hope that they will make a good decision tomorrow, good verdict or good ruling that will be the interest of the Liberian people, that the majority of black will see a reason to go to the gavel or speaker cover, whatever, but the speaker will be give you a due process, and the order do not want to accept him back again. So it's a tough decision. So at some point, the speaker now should have to make some key decision, which way go tomorrow. Because for me, if I order the court rule in favor of the majority of black, COFA may not want to fight a different arm. But even the court rule in favor too, the majority of black are saying that they can no longer sit on the, they are lose confidence in leadership completely. So that you forcing people to go sit on some gravel. So the rules and things there. So it is a complicated issue. Like I said, sometimes I'm going to show you one person to make a big decision to square the thing down, and which will be a lie on the head of the speaker. But again, people say that's a right. There was no rule followed, there was no procedure followed. You know, you are illegally removed. So you should fight it on. How long will you fight it on the last of your die?
Yeah, that is a good point. But here, what we can do tomorrow, let's stay tuned. But let's look at history, some information. Al Gore versus Bush.
Yep.
You know, we went to the Supreme Court in the United States. Supreme Court said, Al Gore, you lose the election. Al Gore said, okay, for the peace of the country, the Supreme Court has spoken, and I will do it.
Yeah.
Look at the Superior Court. Look at the Superior Court in Florida with the indictment of our president-elect. The Superior Court, that the Supreme Court. The Superior Court said, I throw the case out. The case is over. So we have to respect whatever decision the court made in that ruling. So these are the things. It's about time we Liberia. I mean, we can make the noise. That's fine. Everybody going to make the noise. Everybody going to interpret it. But that's what the law said. And so let's abide by the law. But let's go to the next one on the mind docket this evening is PYJ, Nima County. All the focus is on Nima County in Liberia.
Yeah.
For the past, Thursday making 1 week now. Yeah, 1 week. Yeah, 1 week, 1 day. Yeah, 1 week, 1 day. And Nima County is stay mourning the death of their hero. You know, I mean, no matter how it is, let's look at Jesus Christ. Other people look at him as the hero, and other people look at him, he was a troublemaker. You know, so no matter how you look at it, but based upon how you interpret that hero, that's what it is. But PYJ, either you like him or you don't like him. And the people look at him in Nima County as the hero, and other people do not look at him as the hero in Nima County. But now, the issue I'm thinking here is who can they emerge in Nima County now after the death of Prince Johnson? What do you think?
So, like I said, PYJ, no matter the past history and what role he played in Liberia with the Civil War in Liberia and up to his death, Prince Johnson is a man that has the grip on Nima County in terms of making political decisions for that county. And people look up to him for direction and leadership. Even though there are some that I agree with him and whatsoever, but Prince Johnson was a guy. And now people want to look at it, I think Nimba County will be vulnerable because some of the political opponent now they are saying that Nimba County now will be vulnerable. There will be no fight in Nimba County now because Prince Johnson have no longer the picture. So the Badia now will be over to sway their vote or to sway their political opinion to anybody now they want to. And which I say I doubt it. Because the Badia, they have that type of royal class system where they believe in their traditional leaders or elders, when they come and speak to them. So Prince Johnson played that role. Every election time, political system can Prince Johnson play that role. And we're going to help in Prince Johnson shoes right now. I've not seen anybody yet. Maybe too early to say or to new going to help in the play of Prince Johnson to be able to convince or persuade the Badian to change their political thought or the ideology in making political decisions for Liberia. I yet to see that. I know VP Kun is one of those, maybe on the block that people looking at. I don't know how it's going to be. Even the guy who, the head of the majority black, Koga, and also you have Musa Benete there, you have Tia Wombe there, so the house of emerging new leaders.
The Gonglo.
T1 Gonglo also too. My political leader T1 Gonglo also too is there also too. So you have a ton of people, that are near surfacing, but it doesn't matter surfacing, but who will be there to shift the political ideology or the barrier and say, when we raise your hair up, we lift you up. So I'm here we say the political camera or the camera here and see who will be that person that will step out. Maybe Prince Johnson have been buried here. We have not seen much yet. Maybe after the burial, Prince Johnson take up or more, we'll begin to see new leadership, we'll see people coming up, So we have to see it, Like one of my LPP guy reached out to me a couple of days ago and say, "Oh, Tata Tudo." I said, "Yeah." He said, even though Prince Johnson have been buried here, but we can be walking at the seat chewing peanut. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Why can't we try to call or Tewa Gonglo to try to seek the senatorial seat for Prince Johnson?" The by-election that came, I said, "Oh man," I said, "too early for that." I said, "I don't know whether Tewa want to go that direction." He said it will be an opportunity for Tewa to provide leadership for the people of Nimba County. So there are other names. There are people that are coming up, but who's going to be there the phase of 2029? Because Jerry, I can tell you, since Prince Johnson death was announced, the race of 2029 getting so interesting when it comes to Nimba County. We cannot sugarcoat it. Even the burying, he said, the burying was 2029 has opened a $1 billion backs. People have discussing behind the scene, people consulting, doing consultation, and things now because Nimba County, it's a rich vote area. So people want to start the area preparation. Our people, most of the time, people don't want to say, "Oh, where were you?" All the other time we see you, people want to start at the earliest age. They're just waiting for Prince Johnson to be buried. Bet me on the show tonight, you see people becoming operators to that gauge the political aspect of the Nimba County.
Yes, an interesting thing. Wasn't that I'm in control, but I'm not do not have the something Mr. Mr. Toll will connect you so you can come on the show. Then he will do that. So please, Mr. To, if you are Mr. So, Mr. To, please help our brother to get on the show. But here's the interesting thing. I'm from Nima County, and okay, oh yeah, okay. Welcome, Mr. Our brother Collins. How you doing, sir? Yes,
How you
interest. Let me
doing,
just land
Dr.
and
Toto?
Yeah.
okay, cool. Now you. Here's the interesting thing in Nima County. It was let's wait after the burial. But like you said, people are making preliminary,
You know,
I did tell you,
so
you
you
allow,
allow the
echo, yeah.
sorry, we got any echo.
okay, you getting me now?
Yeah, okay, that's better. Thank you.
But,
So here's the interesting thing going to happen. Let's see who the vice president going to pick to be the successor of Prince Johnson. Because we got to wait until January 18 after the burial, and that's the time people start coming the skeleton out of the skeleton come from out of the closet.
Yeah.
But you make an interesting point. What I Congo will want to run for senatorial position. Then because he got a Prince Johnson town will be finishing 2029 or 2029 should be finishing. That time it will be time for presidential election again. But with Nima County, like you said, ability. What ability want to run for the senator position? What he's want to do this thing. But Terry, let me bring you in.
Yeah, again, hi, Dr. Toto and the co-host, Mr. Bacon. I don't know what labor is on tonight, but it seems that the dynamic had changed. And the turkey took labor out, and I don't know, but but I know labor is in the background watching, and I'm sure he's busy. But it's good to see you guys hanging out tonight on the labor show. But there are 2 points, two things that you guys talking are very interesting. Number one is the tomorrow ruling, which is the most interesting news that everybody in the country is waiting for. But my thing is the people are not talking about the law. They are using fear tactics to intimidate Supreme Court. So for everybody saying Supreme Court, they might rule. The law is the law. So what is the law? People are not discussing even the rate that was filed by Fonati Kofa on the basis by which Supreme Court will rule. The court is not, going to rule outside of the rate that was filed. Fonati Kofa said in a rate that he want for the Supreme Court to declare the majority black unconstitutional because they violated Article 33 of the Constitution. And the only way Supreme Court can put a prohibition on any branch of government is unless that branch of government have violated the Constitution, because that branch of government share equilibrium power with the judicial system. All right. So the Supreme Court is going to rule on the basis of if the violation of Article 33, if there was a violation against the Constitution of Article 33, which says that each house can form a quorum if they have a simple majority. So if that law was violated, then Supreme Court will enforce the stay order on the majority black. But if that law was not violated, the Supreme Court will lift the stay order that is on the majority black, and that will not be determined as the way people running around with it, that the Supreme Court were bribed and they never ruled in the favor of the law. They didn't rule in favor of Fonati Kofa. That is not how court proceeding works. The court here judges on the basis of the writ that is filed on the basis of the complainant, what the complainant want the court to do. That's what the court going to judge on. What you say you want for the court to do. When the court look into it and found out that that was not unconstitutional, the court cannot put a stay order on another branch of government to stop them from functioning when they have not violated any constitutional law. So if the Constitution was violated, then the Supreme Court will enforce the stay order in favor of Fonati Kofa. But it's also possible that the Supreme Court can say, well, you give Fonati Kofa due process. But the Supreme Court will not maintain a stay order when the Constitution was not violated. That's my position. On the issue
Thank you.
of
Go ahead. Go ahead.
on the issue of so I will be very surprised to see that they will put a stay order, that they will enforce a stay order when the Constitution is not violated. But if that particular Article 33 was violated, they will enforce a stay order. But what I want to say is that on the issue of Prince Johnson, it is just clear to us that Jeremiah Kuhn will be the man in the race that will be the determining factor going forward. Even if you bring Terwon Gonglo, you bring all these guys, the people that Jeremiah Kuhn is going to recommend for the county, let me tell you something, the Nimbadans are very smart. Go look at the level of development in the people county. Look at the progression. The people now have been noted to be the most progressive county in the entire republic when it comes to development. That tells you that they have a different mindset. Now, they are one step closer to the presidency. And Jeremiah Kuhn is that guy that could do that for them, something that they have never had before in the entire history. Do you really think that they are going to let that down now because you got other figure in the race? I don't think so. Those people are thinking positive. And the positive way in which they're going to go is the replacement of PYJ. I want to say some things here, but I can't say it because when I say it, people will say, oh, they. Because I will say it on my own little podcast, what I can do for my religious setting. But I will not say that one yet now. But Jeremiah Kuhn, whether you like it or not, he's the man that have taken the torch from Prince Johnson. Thank you.
Mr. Tata, let me hear you.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to say hi to Dr. Toto, my brother Terry, and the host here, Mr. Bakon, Jerry Boishin. Yeah, and my old man, I don't know who in the background for in the show for now. We cannot predict the ruling of the Supreme Court. What we can predict is
be mindful now. Be mindful. Even though he's not here, but he still had the power. He still had the background. He control. He control.
That's what I said. That's why I call him a celebrity, so he can. So no, on a serious note, so this the thing, right? We can only predict what the law is supposed to be, and the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of the law, and I think we'll follow the law, the Constitution. The Constitution is clear on these issues that are playing at the Capitol. The Constitution is very clear, so I think we'll have a clear cut. I heard my brother Terry speaking of still order. The Supreme Court told them to go to status quo ante. Status quo ante means where you guys started. Go way back there. Fonati Kofa is still the Speaker of the House of Representatives. So as far as concerned, they should be way back there conducting business as usual and doing labyrinthal business until the court can come now and actually what is who is violating the Constitution as far as the majority black and the minority black. For as far as concerned, status quo anti-Fonati Kofa remains the speaker. The court gonna interpret the law that was violated when the majority group elected a speaker in the presence of another speaker We cannot have two speakers in the nation. The court ruled against that. That is unconstitutional. The court also ruled against people who,
Kenneth, your network getting so bad.
My network is slowing down.
Yeah, you break it.
But go ahead. We're hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah. So I think the court would do the Liberian poor justice. I think it's about time that the people stop these petty, discrepancy in our law, start to undermine the rule of law, especially the body that is responsible to interpret the law. They should do the best thing in the interest of the Liberian people before we go back, into the dark days. I think the court should be very wise. And also, if the court, people saying when the court ruled in favor of Fanatikova, the 43, they will still be, they will still not go under his gavel, and I doubt it, because we don't forget, a couple of people already took the signature off that list. The reason they said they did that because they felt Fanatikova was going to be given due process, only to find out in the 11th hour that the guy has on a Konosa election to bring in a speaker. Those guys are not satisfied with that. So what it did was, no, we're not in for that. You think the same guys, after the court rule, will go back to the 40s, 43? No. I think they will go back on Fanatikova, where they will be expecting the rest of the guys to come, and so they can give Fanatikova due process. They are interested in the accusation. Every Liberian want to know what's going on in that house. Fanatikova is a sedition. I support President Weah before becoming an independent. So everybody wants to see exactly what is unfolding in our own when it comes to corruption. So if Fanatikova is corrupt or guilty of the allegation that leveled against him, we want to see justice. You understand? So it's not about removing him. It's about justice. Then they go through the rule of law, and then they can give him his due process. And if he's found guilty, they can vote him out. And then kick him out and bring a vote another person in. But we should always be conscious about our constitution, what the constitution says, and not somebody coming to interpret and tell us there are two houses. One can be here in the chamber, the meeting on. No, the two houses we know according to our constitution is the House of Senate and the House of Representatives. Because now the majority group always said the two houses when they're talking about the constitution. The only two houses we know in the Republic of Liberia is the House of Senate and the House of Representatives. The legislature, and how it is. So, coming back, let's go to Prince Johnson. Factor. Terry mentioned the Prince Johnson stuff, right? Look, it's too early for us to start predicting, or playing the politics about Prince Johnson. But if you look at
But what you are here for, though, that's what you are here for, because that's why you are here for, because that's why you make it an analyst for you to put your thinking hat on to see where you're going to go. So it's not too soon. That's what you are here for.
When I mean it's too early, when I mean it's too early, and people putting this stuff in the radar, Jeremiah Kuhn will be the face of NDR or the face of Nimbadians. Look, Jeremiah has done nothing for Nimbadians compared to Prince Johnson. The reason they gave Prince Johnson the Godfather name is because of what happened.
No. Let me hold you there. Let me hold you. Hold on. Let me hold you there. Jeremiah Kuhn, he built a hospital in Lima County. Okay, so he started from somewhere to be where he is today.
Jeremiah Kuhn.
I say he started from somewhere to be where he is today. That's a Liberian dream.
Jeremiah Kuhn hospital being in my country, the Nibalo don't go there for free. They pay money to go there. That's his personal business, his private business he make money from. I'm talking about Prince Johnson that gave his life for Nimbadian. Prince Johnson that liberated Nimbadian when they were being slaughtered. So the Nima people gave him, hold on. The Nima people gave him the title Godfather not because he built a university in Nima County. Education, he put university there. They gave title because of what he did for the Nibalian by protecting them. That's why they gave the name Godfather. This man has done nothing as far as that. So he has no popularity in Nima County as compared to Prince Johnson. Right now in Nima County, If you put Jeremiah Kun, you put Ile Gonglo where, you put what he need Tewon Gonglo, eh? They put either go for Tewon Gonglo, either Gonglo where Koga, what the other guy need, another dude out there, they either go for them before they will even go to see Jeremiah Kun. They need Jeremiah Kun will not even
Well,
surface.
he's frozen, but
I'm frozen. Let me go and come back.
Jerry also frozen too,
all
right?
right,
Jerry?
he's back. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go up and come. I will come back in.
No, we're back.
Yeah. So to continue the conversation on the Supreme
Okay.
Court issue.
Yeah, go ahead. On the let me go back to PYJ. PYJ, I don't know, but let's see what historian will write on PYJ. I mean, he had made some legacy. Think about it. It was in this country because the man had elected 3 presidents with an endorsement. Anyway, Prince Johnson, he raised Ellie Johnson hand. She won the presidency. He raised George Weah. He won the presidency. The third one was he raised Joseph Newsom, our current president. He won the election. So Prince Johnson, we were not lacking. But historically, I will lead out with a historian. How are they going to write history about Prince Johnson? And the history will, judge him by the history. Well, if you look at it, he gave a impeccable legacy. He's the first of a kind in our generation to see one person to raise people here anytime where Prince Johnson go, there where the presidency go. We might not like it, but that's a fact.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Dad.
If you talk about the history of Prince Johnson, actually the history of Prince Johnson be written from 2 different perspectives. The Senator Prince Johnson and the warlord Prince Johnson. When he was warlord, what did he do? There are people that still cry today. There are people that still cry when the law was the way in which they were slaughtered, they were killed by Prince Johnson during the age of the war. And from warlord, he became a statesman, a senator, and we saw the role he plays in our political field. He helped President hands in the war election, and we saw his contribution to his country. He became a public servant. That way or that, he also became a churchman. He had a church. He had a congregation.
I forgot that part.
People that sat on people sat on his feet. They listened to him. Despite he passed, people didn't look at that. But people, when they sat on his feet, and he preached the word of God to them. So that's a very huge thing also too. And then that also too, he become educators. He became an educator. He built a university or polytechnic in the county. I can recall when his death, news were announced. I think journalists went on the polytechnic campus. They showed the campus, see people crying, both sitting or outside weeping. See young students, sitting outside weeping. So Prince Johnson, the historian going to have a lot to write from Prince Johnson, not just from one perspective. They had different category of perspective that Prince Johnson be remembered for. When it comes to who's going to be the godfather for Nimba County, I still see some people here, but I won't want to jump the gun quick to say whether it's Jeremiah Coon or maybe either Gonglo Ware or even my own political leader, Tiwa Gonglo. That something have to happen. Some youth train have to happen. When people see it, they say yes. This person will make a political or be a good political leader. And then Jerry, what will be more interesting for us to see to make our determination, the by-election that come out.
That's what I always say.
It will be a test. Let's see who Jeremiah will raise their hand up that the Biden will listen to will win by election, or whether Musa ability will run, he will win senatorial election, or Taiwan government, if or he does not run, who hand he will raise, the Biden will listen to and support him, and that person will win senatorial election. So the by-election will be a huge test for the playing field in Nima County. Who's going to step in to be the godfather for Nima County? If any of them miss that opportunity, if Jeremiah Kun lift anybody hand up, that person lost that by-election, or Taiwan going to lift anybody hand or that person lost that by-election, it will be a big issue for them going to 2029.
Let me hear you. Terry, let me hear you.
Yeah, you see, it is very important for us to know that, you know, the role Jeremiah Kun is playing now is going to be tough and is going to be very important for the Nimbayans. And Nimbayans, like I said, they are developmentally oriented. You know, the focus is on what is good for them. They're not going to allow for people to use politics to play among them. They're not going to allow that. And that is one of the things that most people are not understanding. You know, they just think that Jeremiah Kun is just an ordinary guy. No, Jeremiah Kun is not an ordinary guy since he became a vice president. So the Nibayans seeing this as an opportunity. So they're not going to, and more to that, Prince Johnson lifted up the hand of Jeremiah Kun. Prince Johnson saw Jeremiah Kun to be the man of the match, you know, made him to be MDR's standard bearer. And then he went as vice standard bearer to the Unity Party. That was a merger. So why would they want to relinquish Jeremiah Kun now because Prince Johnson is dead? That is the time that the bond is going to even get stronger. So most of the people who thinking that the Nibayans are just going to sit back and say, oh, you know, yeah, Prince Johnson dead now, so we're just going to forget about Jeremiah Kun and he will fight his own fight and die his own death. They would be mistaken. Then they don't understand the tribal politics that always play in Liberia elections. All right. Whether you like it or not, tribal politics play in Liberia election. The people look at president, we are the voter for him in the southeast. That is what they do. That is what they would do. Even if Joseph Boca built rules and those rules are all going through the southeast and all of that, there will be still a majority of the people will still vote for their own. That is how the people vote. The people in Liberia vote on the basis of tribal line. The only place that where the votes are always divided most of the time is Monserrado County. Other than that, the rest of the places vote on tribal line. And this is the time, because of the vulnerability of the Nibayans, Jeremiah Kun is going to have the opportunity to take advantage of that because he's going to speak the guilt to the people and tell the people, say, my people, I'm the one Prince Johnson left in charge. Y'all want us to take the thing, we'll take it. But if y'all move from beyond me, we'll lose it. And those people will come to understand that this is what we need to do. Something Keto talk about, oh, the majority black this, the majority black that, the people are divided. If the people are divided, why or Speaker Kofa can't have a quorum? If the people, because right now is the best time for Speaker Kofa to show his strength, because the Supreme Court have put have Speaker Kofa invoked the right of I know that Madamas to put a stay order on the majority black. The Supreme Court told the majority black to go to status quo ante. Within the period of two weeks, this is the second week now. The majority black have not been able to have a quorum, and they have not been going to session, apparently because they've been waiting for the court proceeding. And Speaker Kofa himself have not been able to have a quorum. He have not even been having session. when the law have ruled in his favor already. He have not even been able to have session. So will Supreme Court, in their wisdom, look at what is happening in the House, all right, and see no constitutional breach, and still rule in favor of Onanti Kofa? Then they want to put our country backward. Then they're not in the interest of the state, because we got a budget to deal with. We got a budget to look at. So you want to send the people, you want to tell the people, if Article 33 was not violated, if the Constitution was not violated, and you say, oh, because of public sentiment, so Supreme Court should rule and say, oh, the how you call it, the majority black should go back and sit on Speaker Kofa, then it means that you're trying to send our country backward. That's what you're trying to do because of public sentiment. So I believe that the Supreme Court is going to rule on the basis of the law. If the Supreme Court say, look, the sitting that you're sat in to declare or Speaker Kofa remove, that particular sitting was illegal, it broke the Constitution according to Article 33, then the Supreme Court have the right to enforce the injunction and make sure that the status quo anti-stay order remain. And I myself will support them. But if they say in the ruling that we don't see any constitutional breach, thereby we lift up the status quo ante, then I don't think that Speaker Kofa should continue to remain to hold on to this thing. But instead, I would suggest that he resign and leave that particular place so that the country can go forward. That is just my opinion. But look at him now. The man cannot, with all the status quo ante that Supreme Court have given him, within a period of 2 weeks, he has still not been even able to even go for session. Today, they went there. They couldn't even have session. So,
All right.
I don't get it.
Go ahead.
I don't get it.
All right. But here's the thing I wanted to add that talk about the vice president. Prince Johnson raised his right hand and blessed him. Now, Prince Johnson no longer exists. And some of the Nimadian, I'm playing devil advocate here, some of the Nimadian things here, your father gone now, you're on your own. You know, the person that protecting you is gone. So you're on the island. What do you think?
Yeah, and Jerry, and that's something that it's going to be the playing field. And Jerry trying to sugarcoat it, he want to make Jeremiah look so sweet in the eyes of the Debadian. And we all know from all indication that from reliable sources from Robo, even before up to his death, Prince Johnson and Jeremiah were on a slippery slope. They were not really communicating the way they could communicate. And Prince Johnson, from reliable sources, Prince Johnson had complained about Jeremiah Cole. You know, that Jeremiah Cole was not speaking to him. And also, they were even, I think, there was another reliable sources also said that Jeremiah Cole have, VP Cole have resigned from Prince Johnson party. And all that, the MDR, and everything left to him to get a heart attack. So Jeremiah Cole did not just end a good term with Prince Johnson until he died. So we should take that into a big consideration. So when it comes for the playing field in Nimba County, if Prince Johnson could have died and Jeremiah Cole had a good relationship with Prince Johnson, you could say, yeah, okay, Prince Johnson, you can say Jeremiah Cole will be the next person in line to be the godfather or the budget. But it didn't happen that way. They had a very strange relationship before he died. So Prince Johnson has a supporter. You think Jeremiah Cole just come in the car right now to sway the mind of the budget, say Prince Johnson no longer around, I'm your godfather, you look up to me, to heaven? Or
What
no?
of inquiry?
Hold on,
I don't think happy.
hold on, Terry, hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on, Terry. Oh no,
No,
I come to you. I know I come to you. But let me see you talk about communication. what do you make of? Let me ask our brother. What do you make about Darren Dillon, about Nima Kante, or Prince Johnson went to him asking that his daughter should be employed? Then he was going to talk to the president when they go to the funeral in Buchanan. What do you think of Mr. Tete?
Well, I think Dillon did speak with the senator. The senator did speak to Dillon concerning his relative. Prince Johnson is noted for that. I mean, he asks for favor from people that he also gave favor to. He asks for favor. He always look for opportunity for the people of Nima County. It's not strange. So when Dillon said that, I don't think Dillon was saying it in the spirit of um, politics. I think he was saying it as a tribute, or because in the section they were saying the encounter with the senator, when he died. So he was saying something that, look, I just spoke with the senator. Is one of his wish before he died was for me to talk to the president to employ his daughter. And then I told him I was going to meet with the president at this time. But because of the polarization of our politics in Liberia, people ran with it, they politicized it, and they took out of context the fact that prior to Dillon
Yeah, but let
making
me
that.
hold you there. Let me hold you there a little bit. Yes, a
Mhm.
certain godfather of Nima County. He can't pick up the phone and call the certain president and say, Mr. President, this is what I need from you. You got to go to a
So
third party.
so prior to that announcement by Dillon, there was a Prince Johnson sir came on a couple of radio stations, including the Voice of Nima. He was on AB Goyan show on Freedom, and he complained that the president abandoned him. The president don't talk to him when he called the president. This guy is not it's not something like third party saying it, or they say it came from Prince Johnson. His mouth. He went to his church. He said the people refused to even talk to him when he called the president. President would answer his phone, so he's just quiet. So it's something that that the man complained about prior to his death. So it's not a secret. And for him to ask Dillon, who is close to this president, because imagine the president give a responsibility to Dillon and to make appointment in government, Dillon and Yombly. So the proximity to the president, Dillon proximity to the president is very close and tight. So that's why Prince Johnson went to him and said, look, talk to this president to employ my daughter. I don't think it was any big deal, but because of our way of politicking, and people ran with it, and then they start to connect the dots, because people start to say it was not true that President Bouaka and Prince Johnson and even the vice president were not talking. People say it's not true, because they still want to, and this is the deception we talk about in our society. Unity Party used Prince Johnson to come to power. The first thing they said when President Bouaka was elected, the first thing they said in the chat room was they would still prosecute him, and that thing was leaked. It was leaked out. So
So
so so.
Prince Johnson, with his
Uh-huh.
caliber, let me there. Prince Johnson with his caliber, his knowledgeable with politics. You think he will be sit there for him to be used for workout to come to power? But anyway, let me go to Terry. Terry, what you said? What you say? What you take on about Darrell Dedon?
Yeah, Darrell Dillon made a mistake by saying what he said, but for Keto then to come here and say, "Oh, Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun were in." How about Prince Johnson and President Weah? They were not in confusion
It was clear.
before he died.
No, they were not in
But
confusion. It was they broke away they broke away politically, but I'm talking about
so
people.
the
Yeah, as hold on, Mr.
Keto,
Terry.
these people were not in
Let him speak,
confusion.
please.
You don't
Go ahead.
get no evidence. What I wanted to ask Dr. Toto said is that, can you cite the something Dr. Toto said? That why I like to respond when to ask my
But
questions,
that boy is going to be
because
taking note when the
I
president is
I
speaking.
wa- you're right. I wanted for him to show me where he can point out exactly that where Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun fell off the in confusion. I wanted to see that, because tapes, all these dotted tapes, all these dotted tapes, I think they're trying to tell you to watch your text messages, Mr. Bakum.
The chat. Let me text the chat.
Okay, so all these dotted tapes. that people joined together from different time zones when Prince Johnson was talking and they collided it together. That it will come into sit down here and say the people are in confusion. Amen. So the time the Jeremiah Kun now that is taking over the whole entire burial ceremony, that the man Prince Johnson family can't even reject him and say, "My man, we want you here." Because even if my husband, who was alive, was not in favor of Jeremiah Kun, I, who the wife, would not allow Jeremiah Kun to take over my husband's funeral.
So,
Like the
so
way
Terry,
he
let me ask
doing.
you a question, Mr. Parker. Let me ask Terry a question. So the audio that going around with Prince Johnson's voice on there that said Jeremiah couldn't even talk to him. The president don't talk to him. Is it a lie from his own voice?
These things are things that Prince Johnson normally say, number one. Number two, those
So
tapes
then
are
how you say
dotted.
then how you say we
They're
are
not
lying?
real. I don't
Hold
believe
on, hold
it.
on, hold on, Mr.
Because
Taylor.
you can't,
No,
Mr.
no,
you
you
Taylor.
can't
can't
prove
You
that
that
know the
those
way.
rule.
tapes are
You know,
real.
You get the
it's
devil
not
Prove
that you
voice,
it.
know the
Terry.
rule. You know the
Listen,
rule here,
I'm
Mr. Taylor.
saying
But
these tapes could be
that way,
dotted.
let him
Did
land.
you
Yeah, wait him land.
did you get the response from MDR? Did you read the response from the political party, their position on those information? They said the tapes are dotted, that they are put together. They're
Terry,
not real.
let me
They're
ask you a
not
question.
authentic.
Terry, let me ask you a question. Is it true that Jeremiah Ko resigned from the MDR party before Prince Johnson? Yeah.
It's a gossip again. It's another gossip.
What?
There is nowhere where Jeremiah Kun have a statement. You can't. Nobody can prove the statement that Jeremiah Kun left MDR. Show me it. Show me that information. So because when people resign, they don't only go and talk it in gossip. It is officially done. It is officially done. And we are sound people on the network. You don't just run with gossip from here, there, and yonder. You see, these are the Tabata seditious used to do. That one made they end up not achieving anything at the end of the day. They just take information, here say, they say, the other man say, did that. When you shake the man hand, you will die, just like Prince Johnson. So everybody running with that kind of information. So that is the kind of propaganda CDC can survive with. You and I are not supposed to survive with that kind of propaganda. If Jeremiah Kun left MDR, he will make it official. It will be made public. It will be an official statement. Right now, the people are saying that particular statement was done on one of Jeremiah Kun page that people make. You know, people can make pages in your name on Facebook. So it's not a reliable information. What was the press conference that
The AI.
Jeremiah Kun called?
So
The AI
so
can do it. That's
Mr.
the AI can
Mr.
do it.
Bachman. Mr. Bachman.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
people did an AI with Prince Johnson's voice that said the president don't talk to him. That was AI too.
Oh, but wait now. This was not the same Prince Johnson that said that or Joseph Boca is not fit for the presidency, and later on he ended up becoming part of
No,
Joseph.
but
Is it not the same Prince Johnson? No, give me a chance now. Is it not the same Prince Johnson? What were asking Dara Didon for him to talk to the president to employ a daughter? Is it not the same Prince Johnson?
So but then why you say we lying?
I'm trying to tell you, I don't believe the report because it's not coordinating. It's not coordinating. And the reason why I agree with you small is because I just wanted trying to show you some inconsistencies in the very thing you're trying to tell us. Because you're trying to tell us that Prince Johnson say the papa can call him. The people, Jeremiah Kun and all of them, the in problem, the in confusion now. So it means the Nima people, y'all forget about Jeremiah Kun now. Because we in same with something. But you're trying to drive that narrative. So you saying that. So now this is the same Prince Johnson.
Mr. Terry,
This is the same. This is the same.
You know the rules. I said, let him land. I'm talking to him. I said, let him land.
This is the same Prince Johnson now that you saying. This is the same, but you keep cutting me off and intercepting me, interrupting me. This is the same Prince Johnson now that you are saying that were telling Dara Dillon that he should talk to the president so the president can employ his daughter. And guess what? The daughter that we're talking about here is working in the government. So how then now the people have fallen off? You know, so your CDC propaganda will not work Because let me give you the reason why it will not work. Right now, Jeremiah Kun is overshadowing the entire funeral of Prince Johnson. And the only way that can happen is unless the family allow him to do it. And the only way the family can allow him to do it unless there was a good relationship. That
Terry,
is just simple.
Terry, they gotta say that. Say they about they don't talk.
But what about the family?
No.
Mr.
From our
Bacon.
perspective, from our profession, Tebale can talk because if you lead that debate, after 2 days, it will start showing some sign when you hear, it
So
will start
Jeremiah
showing some
could
sign.
maybe VP could use it, can leverage as the vice president. Well, who know? The family too. They come.
So Prince Johnson will not say nothing to his
Mr.
wife
Bacon,
against Jeremiah
bring
Kun.
Yeah.
Steve, bring out a phone.
So that what?
No, let all of at the time because Terry now spill up top of
Because the wife,
No,
the
hold
wife will say,
on.
the wife,
Sir, hold on.
let me just put this one in.
I'll give you Len, Terry.
If my wife knows, right? Because if God forbid, something happened to maybe one of my relatives, and my relative and I was not in good rapport, and the woman is aware, that woman and she aware, like while the person is on a dying bed or say that I don't want to have nothing to do with the person, so and so person. When anything happened to me, I want to see the person.
Yeah,
That
like
woman
the issue with John McKay and Donald Trump.
Thank you. That woman will not allow you to go to that particular. You may go there, but she will not give you any access to major things of her husband because she know what her husband told her before he died. That's my position.
All right, Dad, let me go to we'll call that, then we'll get a quarter coming in. Go ahead.
So Mr. Bacon, you know, sometimes it's good for us to face reality and call it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't have your cake and eat it. Nobody dotted no tape. Nobody play or AR on the late Prince Johnson's voice. Prince Johnson came out on numerous occasions and accused a sitting president of not talking to him, ostracizing him, and everything. Even hours before Prince Johnson died, he had a conversation with another guy from Magibie County. He explained a lot of stuff in that audio. I think the guy recorded his conversation with Prince Johnson. He explained a lot of stuff. Went to the extent by telling even the guy his support will not go beyond or the vice president. All right? This to tell you how Prince Johnson felt about the whole ruling establishment. Are you there?
Okay. Yeah, I'm listening. But yes,
when Prince Johnson even know that people were recording him.
Excuse me, Terry.
I come in, Terry. Hold on. Let me hold you there. The same Prince Johnson. May his soul rest in the same Prince Johnson. May his soul rest in peace. You are the same person say you were saying Joe, we have a go. So what is the difference?
So I'm not disputing that.
No, I'm just asking you. Sir, what is the difference?
The difference is he lived to his word. He spoke his word that Joey should go. Joey left. He put his foot behind, and it was clear. Okay. It was all true. It was 1 + 1 is 2. He said he don't want Joey. He told the Nima County board, said we don't want Joey. They'll put our vote behind President Boaka. President Boaka won. He came back. He told the people again. He said, President Boaka, don't talk to me. Then you're telling me, say that one is a lie. That way you're trying to say the first one he said, if you want President, we are that true. President, we are took money from the Nima Pool that true. You agree with all I want. But the same Prince Johnson came out and said, I don't talk to you. You said I want to lie. Then why almost no.
Listen. Nobody never dispute whether it's a lie or not. There's nobody here to prove it. Hold on, sir.
True. You don't believe it.
Hold on, sir. I said the possibility anybody can do AI. You may say, and somebody can hack into a place and do an AI. So
like AI to play. No way.
Okay, let's see if our callers are coming in. Let's see our callers are coming in. They'll get any opportunity to be part of the conversation. If you're ready, just hold on the last. The person can come in. Let's do that. But
yeah, I continue to say that when it comes to the Godfather, when it comes to people to be the Godfather for the Ibaka, it's too early to say whether that VP will be the godfather. I think I said the matter that the matter about the special election to elect to fill the seat of Senator Prince Johnson will be a test to all to some of the key figures. If Jeremiah could raise anybody here for that election, if that person win, then we'll be able to play Jeremiah in certain category. If they were going to raise anybody here, that person win or that person goes to will play the certain category, whether to be the godfather for Nima County. So that election will be a test for either of them. They whether this lady or either Congo where want to run again, because Prince Johnson want to serious black for her to win election in that country. And Prince Johnson no longer run again. Whether Prince Johnson supporter going to say support her for the win senatorial election, we want to see it because at certain time their political differences got so bad between she and Prince Johnson. So and then I know definitely she want to surface again. So it will be very interesting for us to see how they're going to play all in that special election.
Terry, so you.
Who, me?
Terry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show some stuff here, on the Dillon something. All right. They said the movement for democracy. This is the Liberian investigator. The movement for democracy and reconstruction has fired back at Senator Darius Dillon over claims involving the late Prince Johnson, accusing him of spreading falsehood for political gain. The party strongly condemned Dillon's remark that Johnson had pleaded for a government job for his daughter, labeling the statement as part of a calculated propaganda campaign to tarnish Johnson's legacy and disrupt his allegiance with President Joseph Boyka. So when people begin to jump all over the place, because these are facts, these are not, the guy said, I hear something in the tree, the boy was talking, the other person said they want daughter tape and all that. Prince Johnson was a controversial person. Prince Johnson knew that people would be calling him and recording him, so he would be talking things that they want him to talk so he can also get the other side of the story. The man was a military man. He did those kind of things. Even in the weird government, Prince Johnson recalled people and talk on people and during the campaign. There were propaganda going around that, Prince Johnson going to hang Joseph Boyka. He lied to Joseph Boyka and all of that. There were plenty of news all in the media with Prince Johnson talking. At the end of the day, who won the election? Who Prince Johnson stood with? So the thing here is that there are several things I'm looking at. I'm looking at the press releases that are coming from the MDR itself, which is Prince Johnson political party. I'm also looking at the family, the relationship between the family and the government and the position of Jeremiah Kuhn and all of that. Once those things are cordial, there will be no reason for me to say that there is conflict or there were conflict between Prince Johnson and JMB government, or there were conflict between Prince Johnson and Wayne and Jeremiah Kuhn. Because for what I see, I don't see no conflict at all. They might have some small differences. They might be talking. Maybe the papa say, okay, I will call you today. And he didn't call Prince Johnson for that whole week. Prince Johnson got very, he sent out a pulpit and said, oh yeah, Joseph Boyka, don't call me again. But after that, he never said that again. There was a relationship. Prince Johnson was controversial. He talked anything he wanted to talk on his heart for a moment, it goes away. That is the kind of guy. So based upon that, I should just make my judgment and say, oh yeah, you know what, Prince Johnson, when I'm looking at vis-a-vis press releases coming from Prince Johnson himself, political party, no. I don't think there was a confusion. And
all right, thank you, Mr. Terry.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me add that. So I know we got a few more minutes. We got about 5 or 10 more minutes. Let me see. Let me hear your take on the Supreme Court tomorrow. What is your prediction? Let me see you first.
Like I said earlier, I don't want to come up with a particular prediction to say whether the win in favor of co-filed minority black or the majority black. For me, what I want tomorrow, whatever ruling the Supreme Court put out tomorrow should be plain in simple English. If the minority black come off a terror, that is it in a Kofa, your action is illegal, you are no longer the speaker, the minority black win, and that's why the majority black also too. Because we don't want things to be complicated tomorrow. We don't want for people to beat the war drum. So my prediction tomorrow, whatever they come up with, there be simple plain English that the common man will be able to understand, that will not bring any celebration from the both sides. We don't want the majority black claiming victory, the Kofa black claiming victory tomorrow. They will just complicate issue.
Let me hear you, Tete.
Well, look, it is not about which party win. It's about the Constitution being respected. I think the Supreme Court will rule in the interest of the Constitution, because it's a clear cut case. When you look at it, the rule of law has to prevail. The Supreme Court uphold our Constitution is where people go for redress. And I think once the Constitution is respected, I think that's where we're going to follow. It's not about fanatical for winning or majority black winning. It's about the Constitution being respected. And I think the Supreme Court will rule in that direction. I just want to piggyback on some things that my brother Terry was saying. Like I say, you can have a cake and eat it. We listening to Prince Johnson on numerous occasions accuse people that he fell off with. He accused President Weah for a while about taking the NIMAPO money, that he was not doing those things he promised he would do. And at the end of the day, he fell out with President Weah and supported JMB. We saw Prince Johnson doing the same thing with Joseph Boakai, criticizing Joseph Boakai for the first year in his administration by doing nothing, stealing. He said the worst stealing ever in 1 year is under this government. The government abandoned him. The president does not talk to him. Even the vice president, he said all those things. We're not making it up. It's on audio. It's from Prince Johnson was that his voice, and we can't change it. That's what he said. It's not from their fourth party. All right. So if Darrell Dillon come out now, you can challenge Darrell Dillon's statement because that's his word against the dead man word. But when something comes from the dead man mouth that is on audio, there's no way, Terry, you who stay in the pulpit and preach, you can't tell me, say, it's not correct, it's dotted. Then I question a lot of things you say on this platform. Sometimes we got to be truthful. There was problem. It was glaring. Prince doesn't not just go on a pulpit and talk with all people coming at him, or he feeling aggrieved. He spoke it. He spoke his mind.
But
You don't have to about it.
that is not the first. Hold on. Let me hold you to that, because this is not the first time the senator said, when George Weah took over, he and Joe Weah fought out too. He said Joe Weah was not talking to him. So it's just a part of it. We're not. It's not just a part of it.
That's not even the point I'm trying to make.
He was just a whiny baby that every time he pick up the president,
Mr. Babo, that's not the point I'm trying to make. When he said it, that George Weah was not speaking to him, did you believe it?
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay, so why now you can't tell Terry what he said about President Boakai not speaking? Why you can tell him now you believe it? Do you believe that too?
No, there was an audio that there was an audio.
No,
there was no audio. Hold on.
Audio. Do you believe that President stood in the chest and said Boakai don't speak to him? You only believe what he said about George Weah, but you don't believe what he said about. No, you only believe what he said about President Weah, but you don't believe what he said about President Boakai, right? That's the hypocrisy right here. How can you?
Let's get it straight. He went on the pulpit and said, Mr. Weah was not speaking to him.
Yeah.
This time we got an audio. Now hold on. When Joe Weah was not speaking to him, he and Joe Weah had some read my rope, whatever that was. It was not going down well with him. He said it publicly, we heard it. But this one is a leak something. But anyway, what we gonna do? I think
I stay on the floor and you Carlo. You see
put him in the backyard. They can't talk plenty,
So but
Dr. Toto.
The,
So
the,
you see, Dr. Toto, you know what I like about
I
you?
think the labor controlling that thing,
You,
Mr. Bacon.
you know when it's right, you can't say anything, just be
so
quiet.
hold
And,
on.
and I like about you.
So,
But don't be like Terry, who know the right thing.
Oh, you put a man in the bar for you?
Yeah, let me go to buy. Yeah, I thought you too
No,
bad.
Mr. Bacon. No, the I know the play labor. Hey, you really excited tonight because you put it in the bar for you. Wow.
so, but
Now
anyway,
you that total
let's do
you running
this.
the show, eh?
I know. We got 5 minutes left. We got 5 minutes left. So let's see. I'll give everybody 2 minutes each, maybe 6 minutes. So we'll do the closing. So let me give you. See, you just let me start with the closing. 2 minutes. So any tapata you want to talk. 2 minutes. No, not. Go ahead.
So yeah,
Right.
uninterrupted. So
Yeah,
you know,
2
look,
minutes.
yes,
We got 2 minutes. Start right now. We are
Undotted.
closing.
Undotted.
Oh my
2
God.
minutes. Go
The man
ahead.
interrupting me again.
Undotted. Get off.
Go ahead.
No,
It's
uninterrupted.
9:45. It's 9:45. So you got 9:47. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So this the thing. I think we should be, like I said yesterday on the show. It's not about the people that are in power. It's about our country. It's about them doing those things that will change and put us, our next generation, in a better place than where we are today. I think we should take the focus from, giving the president and his leadership or his code of officer all the praises when they're doing nothing, and tell them what they're doing wrong so they can make sure they do it right and change our country face. Liberia is the oldest African republic, and Liberia is still the least in Africa. And it's a shame because we all put our faith in our leaders and not in the system. The system is the system. If we tell our leader they should go by the system, they should make sure they should prosecute people when they steal. They should make sure that they don't violate the Constitution. Whether we put them there or not, we should hold them accountable. I think our nation will be good. But if we fail because we think we put them there, when they go in astray, we still defend them like what Terry and Mr. Bacon doing on this platform. And even the learned Dr. Toto, that once upon a time in America, yeah, took Yola to court and all that. If he can come here and don't hold this government accountable for the wrongdoing to Liberian people, I don't see our country moving anywhere. And that's all I know my point I'm trying to make here. That's the reason why I became an independent. I don't want to be saluting nobody else. I want to salute Liberia. And I think Mr. Bagon, being a security expert, served in government in Liberia, and seeing where we are today, we should be buying our heads and say, no, this is not where we want to be. Because we've been putting our faith in individual instead of putting our faith in our nation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is yours.
Yeah, Jerry, co-host, good discussion today, and thank you for presiding today and controlling the discussion. Keep it up. We started by discussing about the security apparatus in Liberia, especially the police and the EPS, in terms of their engagement is on unethical behavior. And we hope that the leadership of the police and EPA will try to provide some training to the officers, like they are there to serve integrity, and that will be carry on things that are good for the state and for the security of the country. And also when it comes to tomorrow ruling, like everybody say on the show, yeah, we want for the Supreme Court to rule based upon the Constitution and the rule of law should prevail in Liberia. And we hope whatever ruling the Supreme Court come out tomorrow, our people should respect the ruling and return back to the status quo. And then we come to Prince Johnson, as I said, I'm waiting for the special election that be here to fill the seat of Senator Prince Johnson. I've been watching to see if VP Kun, who they will endorse and who hand they will raise, whether that person will win, or whether it be Taiwan Gongdo, or any of the various politicians in Nimba County, they will know be the godfather for Nimba County. But good discussion today, good show as always, to be back on the show.
Thank you. That I almost call you Dad too, Mr. Collins.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Maybe
doctor.
you soon
But
get your deed. You soon get your doctorate degree.
I mean, I receive it. But what I want to say is that, I'm not on the network to be praised or people try to get me to confess like an insult there. They try to get me as a wood to confess because I'm a pastor. So I'm supposed to come, confess on the network and think, no, I am free to my opinion and I make my opinion based upon my analysis and based upon what I read in the media. You understand it? So having said that, Jeremiah Kun is poised, whether you like it or not, to be the next hero of Nima County. And I know plenty of people don't like to talk about this, but even President we all know what I'm saying is true. You understand? That's why President we cannot shake Jeremiah Kun hands. Because the reason he can't shake Jeremiah Kun hand, he knows why he can't shake Jeremiah Kun hand, because there is certain thing that have transferred from Prince Johnson to Jeremiah Kun. And that thing is a contender against President we position in 2029.
He made that laugh.
So politically, President we and spiritually, President we is smart. I'm gonna give it to him. He knows exactly. People talking, jumping all over. President we I doubt in my lifetime until maybe President we maybe lose the election 2029. That from now to 2029, that President we will shake Jeremiah Kun hand. Because he know the implications. It's a spiritual battle that is going on. Jeremiah Kun have been poised to be a contender for the presidency. And let me tell you how you know. You see all the accusation, the condemnation, the fighting, that is what comes when people are rising. When you see people are positioned to success, it comes with a lot of criticism. Before the election, Jeremiah Kun was one of the most criticized. Today, as young as he is, around age 40, I think 45 or so, he is a vice president. So what I'm saying is that this is how people propel people to the next level. When you keep giving them criticism, when you criticize them, when you condemn them, when you say a lot of things about them, on the other side, it helps them to gain public sentiment. Like you see what happened to Fonati today? Fonati is gaining public sentiment. And that could work for him politically in the end. In a political setting, sometimes what you think to be bad, especially when you are not performing your role the way you're supposed to perform it, can end up becoming a victory for the next person. On Supreme Court bench tomorrow, I will be anticipating that Supreme Court will rule on the basis of the Constitution. If the Constitution was not breached, the Supreme Court is not going to keep the stay order on the majority block. If the Constitution Article 33, as were put forth before the court, was breached, the Constitution is going to enforce that stay order and compel the majority block to go back to status quo ante. And in my opinion, I don't think that will happen. I may be wrong. Again, I'm not using prophecy here. So nobody can say, oh, the man a pastor, he said something, it will happen. No. I am saying on the basis of opinion and on the basis of prediction. So nobody will go carry my name and say, oh, the man a pastor, you were prophesying. No. That's not what I'm doing here.
You just prophesy, Jenna.
Thank you. I'm not.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to
All right,
clarify
people.
because I know people like you, Keto, will carry it or tell you it's your pastor, your prophesy.
My man just prophesied. He said Jeremiah. He said Jeremiah.
So
All
for
right,
real,
sir.
That will
Kerry.
play that.
You
That
done,
will play
sir?
that video that labor.
So for
All
real,
right.
Kerry. Are you a pastor?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
And,
know.
and most of the people then been telling me I should leave on the show because they say, the battle can be easy. Some people not like it. So
Oh, okay.
They say the
Okay. I
men
didn't
are
know. I
fat
didn't
yeah,
up
know.
when it comes to
I didn't know.
that
I
I
didn't.
get
No,
it.
but you're
I
gonna
get
say
it
that
too
balance the show. But
political.
anyway, thank you,
They say the men are
thank you
fat
for
up when
no,
it comes
but
to politics.
listen,
He said he being
but
political.
listen, no. Listen. Towa was a pastor. Bishop Warner was a pastor. Who
Yeah.
again? Most of our political leaders were pastors. There was a reverend and all these things. So let's just let not go there. But thank you
That
for
Bishop
was
Carter,
coming
telling
tonight.
them, Mr. Background, that was telling them last night. 200 years. Or America is 200 years old. All majority of in fact, all of the presidents came from the church. But then yet
All right.
they say the church not correct. So I don't know.
Okay. But
Okay.
thank you for coming tonight. I mean, we had a wonderful show. Hopefully, we'll be here
Yeah, thank
tomorrow.
you.
Let me say this. First of all, the seat of the list senator had not been vacant yet. It had not been announced by the government to send a letter to the election commission to declare that seat vacant. So right now, it's not, and legally, it is not before the election commission to say when they're going to have the election. The third thing here is, my dear brother started talking about prosecution. How many persons you are prosecuted for administration? Eh? For corruption. How many persons? How many persons you persecuted? So I'm not even going to dignify that one. But
Mr.
next thing I
Background,
want
the sooner you get to know that
hold on,
President
hold
Trump
on,
not president anymore,
hold on,
it's better for
sir.
you.
I gave you the opportunity. You finish talking, so please, So you never even prosecuted or spider before I say fly. So you never did that under his administration. So don't forget about that one. Now two of them honor indictment. They stay on indictment. The case is still before the court. So that's one of the things. That's what I want to make. Josh Weir shaking people's hand. That you know what? In fact, he called Jeremiah Pekin. He called him Pekin. That is an insult. You are diplomat or something. Eh? Diplomat or something. Regardless, I can't call you Pekin now. Based upon your position, I will call you Mr. Teddy. That's what I'm going to call you. I will call Mr. Collins. I will respect him. But you can't call him man my Pekin. No, that Clariton English is over. You are reached to a certain level in life. So that's what it is. You call it sitting vice president or Peking. That's wrong. That is wrong. I can tell you. You know why today? Why he must have broke up? Because the same thing he did it to the late Arthur Katie. You are not calling the man. He's not dressing people. That's a behavior. You don't dress people by their knee because as soon as you ain't here live or misunderstanding, he will start downgrading you. So this is the pattern. Thank you tonight. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow we'll be here, or maybe I will not be here because tomorrow I'm going to a funeral, and maybe after the funeral we'll have a repast and all these things. So I'll be busy tomorrow. Maybe Saturday I'll be here. Thank you. Have a good night. God bless you all.
Thank you. Good night, gentlemen.
All right. Like that.